let's improve our background image. The one we have so far is like that. I'm not happy with it. It's too busy. Okay, it's too contrasty. It's too busy. There's too many of them. It's too small. I don't like it. Yet I like it in the sense that it is showing the mountains of the Ring of Gullion. And just to tie in this image here with the Ring of Gullion, this picture was taken from Clermont Transmitter, okay, which is down here in the southeast part of the Ring of Gullion. It's in County Louth, but it's in the Ring of Gullion. And you can see a lake here, Camloch. There it is there. Sorry, it's over here. Forget that. That must be a road. Okay. Forget that. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I want to use that logo as a background image, but I don't want it in that size, in that intensity of color and contrast. So the plan here is I am going to use that image. I am going to display it in a web page, and then I can just do Control plus to magnify it. Okay, and I want to make it paler. Now we could use Photoshop, something like that. We could use some of these fancy image editing tools, but I'm just going to show you a very easy and quick way to make a background image that's a bit paler and just as good. So if you look at the instructions in section 13, page 19, I'm asking you there to create a web page called makebackgroundimage.html. Okay, the only content in it is a paragraph tag with an image, and I am applying some style. Okay, so here is my only content, the image there. Okay, here's our third type of CSS. Okay, our third location for CSS. So far we've been using style sheets. In the relative and absolute font size we used inline CSS. Okay, style sheet is external CSS. Inside a tag is inline CSS, and this example here is called embedded CSS, and you can think of embed, sounds like it has the word head in it. Okay, so embedded CSS goes in the style tag, which is a child of the head tag. Okay, so let's run this in the browser and see what it looks like. Okay, there it is there. It's a pale shadow of its former self, but that's okay. I kind of like it that way. And then I can do Control X to magnify it. Okay, so that's too big. We'll leave it at that. Okay, what happens if I change the opacity? Okay, so I want the paragraph, and I'm just putting in the paragraph so I can apply the opacity to the image. So the image needs to be a child of a paragraph tag. Opacity 0.2 means the image is very weak. Okay, if I change that to 0.9 and come back and refresh, you can see it's almost as strong as its former self. Having a weak image means you don't have to worry too much about the resolution. We know the image is small. Sorry, you can see there that's kind of grainy, poor resolution. But that's okay. If it's 0.1, it's very, very weak. If it's 0, we can't see it at all. Okay, it's gone. So maximum is 1, minimum is 0. So we want something that's on the low side, so 0.2 I think is going to be okay, which is what I suggest in the instructions. Okay, so there is our image. I can't get a full lot of it there. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that. It could be Control screenshot or Sys or Control print screen or Shift print screen or Function print screen. It depends on the machine you're working on. Mine is Function print screen. Okay, so I've got a copy of that. What I want to do is basically just go into Microsoft Paint and Control V to paste that. Okay, and now I can, if we just make that so it's the full size of the screen so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, and let me just shrink this a little bit. Okay, that red dotted line is just the dotted line from the boundary of the video. So I want to move this so that all that extra stuff around the edge goes. So Control A will select everything. You can see the dotted line here, and then when I get that little symbol there, I can just push this. Okay, so I want to get it up towards the top, up over towards the left as much as I can. Okay, and similarly with the right, like that, and move it there. So it's practically a square, 420 by 424 pixels. Okay, so there's my that's going to be my background image. It's significantly bigger than my current Ring of Gullion logo. Okay, because we can go in there and we can see Ring of Gullion logo. Right click on that, and properties, Ring of Gullion logo is only 140 pixels. Okay, so it's 3 times wider, 3 times higher, so it's going to be 9 times bigger. So we need 9 times less of each of these. Okay, so I want to use that. I'm going to need to save it, and let's navigate to where that's going to go. So I need to put that in the folder where all the other images are. Okay, so you'll be putting this into Ring of Gullion, into the images, and Ring of Gullion, except I am going to call it Ring of Gullion background. LOGO disappears. Okay, so that's my image done. I can close that, and I can close that. That has served its use. So let's go back to our CSS. Okay, and all I have to do now is change the word logo with the word background. Okay, because the Ring of Gullion is common and it's in the same folder, remember. So let's, the moment of truth, let's refresh here, and there it is there, looking nice and a bit more subtle.